Enter the next dimension, everybody. It's Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Devin, joined as always by my co-hosts, Lauren and Bruce, and today we have reached our 8th and final episode of the Sonic X Archie comic series. And, this...
Damn time.
Yeah, there were enough issues in here that are just clearly them spinning their wheels that, like...
Yeah.
I think this series didn't need to be quite as long as it is.
There was no reason this should have been 40 issues. This should have been 20.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I shouldn't retrospect yet, honestly.
Not yet, that's fair.
Yeah.
Hey, it fits with our conception of the Sonic X show, and we it definitely, whatever you guys may say about these books, you don't seem as agitated as you were by the show by the end.
No, I think I have overall enjoyed these more than I did the show.
Yeah, the reason I was saying it's kind of sad is because, like, I actually kind of enjoyed some of these comics, so it's just weird that they had to go too long, I guess.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, let's not let our show go too long, and by that I mean we're gonna make a fucking lot of episodes after this, but we're not gonna waste time on this one specifically. Let's start here with Sonic X number 36, and really there's no better illustration to represent how they're running out of ideas. We're doing a Disney Channel original film about a girl who really wants her dog to win a dog show.
It does feel like a
Disney. Yeah.
It does feel like a Disney Channel original.
Extremely realistic animals being drawn by Spazian.
I don't like the hyper-realistic animals on the cover, or any of the semi-realistic ones in the issue either.
I think it's supposed to look strange here on the cover.
Yeah.
In the issue, I don't think it's quite as bad. I mean, they want to make them distinct from, Sonic characters. I think that's fair.
Sure, yeah.
It's also funny considering, like, last week we had those monkeys that very much just looked like Sonic characters, so it's like, where do they fall in the line of anthropomorphism?
Yeah, those ones kind of bungled that a little bit. So maybe they were trying to make up for it.
Oh yeah, don't just evenly distribute it. Just go all the way in one direction and then all the way in the other.
Basically.
Right.
Anyway, the story here is Pet-tastrophe, Edkin and Fry, although frankly from that not good pun in the title, you could tell it wasn't a Flynn issue. Chris is bullied by a girl who just happens to tip him off to a pet show with a Chaos Emerald as prize. Sonic and Eggman move in to corner the competition.
Why the hell does this pet show have a Chaos Emerald as a prize?
Why is Chris randomly being harassed by mean girls?
That's also a good question.
The Chaos Emerald, it's excusable because Chaos Emeralds kind of just show up in random places, it seems like in Sonic.
That's fair. Well, especially X, like, just in general in Archie comics. Doesn't have to be specifically X or normal Archie. They just seem to show up wherever the writers need them to.
That's true. As for the Mean Girls, because plot, I guess, like, they just show up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Was Mean Girls still like a thing when this issue came out? Did anyone give a crap about the show movie? Was it a movie or a show? I know.
I think it was a series of movies.
Okay, this is as I was asking that, I realized this is the wrong crowd to ask.
But I mean, I think they're probably funny. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they are.
Anyway, this girl is Milan, who, as soon as I looked at her, I realized they are writing her as this rich aristocrat who treats people that she views as below her like trash, and that's so funny to me because Chris is a rich kid too. This should be causing infighting between like the rich parents.
Well, so what they're doing with this is making you think, oh, Chris is rich, but he's not like bad rich. He's fine.
Yeah. It's they have a noble savage view of richness. And also really weird to be bullying others at a table where Sonic the fucking Hedgehog is sitting.
It's like they don't even know who they are.
Well, and it's like Sonic just disappears from the conversation for this. He wouldn't stand for this.
I don't think Sonic would give a crap.
I mean, okay, it's Sonic X Sonic, so...
yeah, exactly.
But...
X Sonic wouldn't give a crap. Normal Sonic probably would. He'd be like, don't call my friend stupid.
Yeah, that's my territory. No, I don't know.
Exactly.
Also, both Helen's hair and Francis's overalls are miscolored brown, which I can't take my eyes off of.
At this point, I expect miscolors in these comics.
Yeah.
These characters barely show up. It was kind of surprising to see them in these comics. I'm like, oh yeah, we've seen them like a few times.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they're not exactly holding major plot roles, which they barely did in the show anyway.
Right, they were just there to be Chris's friends.
Anyway, so this jerk basically harasses them out of the ice cream parlor, which I think is the same one that Deco and Boko destroyed.
I would assume so. That would make sense.
And then Eggman shows up to steal her limousine? What's he doing?
Because it's full of a bunch of tech.
Yeah, okay. They explain that later. But in the moment, they just show up and they're just like, I'm on a mission. Anyone who stands in my way will get hurt. And then Sonic has this wicked comeback. He says, it's a good thing I never stand still for long.
That's a good one, Sonic. I'll give you that.
What? Why is the limousine full of high-tech equipment?
Rich dad wants to keep his bitchy rich daughter safe.
Yeah, but like, is this also a tech billionaire? How many of these are there?
I think so. I mean, how many are there in real life?
Like, not them. I don't know.
Just a few. This is a good number.
One of the characters describes like like between the Thorndikes and I don't remember this character's family name.
Wasn't even sure if they had one.
I just know her name is Milan.
Yeah. Ramada, that's their family name.
Ramada, yeah.
Comparing the Thorndikes and the Ramadas, it's like, oh, sometimes one of them is richer than the other, and sometimes it flips the other way. Yeah, exactly. So like when they put it that way, I kind of think they might be like rival businesses.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, yeah, so Sonic handles the missiles he launches, but he doesn't get the car. Eggman gets away with the limousine. And yeah, now she's mad at Sonic for letting the limo get away.
Fucking asshole. Damn Sonic.
You kind of brushed over how can Sonic just grab missiles out of the air like that? That's ridiculous.
He does it in the movie, in the first movie also.
I haven't seen the first movie, but I find it improbable that he could grab them and they wouldn't explode.
I think that's the second movie also, but yeah, maybe they're only if the tips touch something do they explode. That would be my best guess. That's the
typical Eggman design, I guess.
Eggman has to put in some sort of stupid failsafe.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Milan is mad about that now. I am surprised that, you know, because like they cut back to them at the mall eating a giant bowl of only French fries, which is weird looking.
French fries for lunch.
And she's like getting mad at Sonic and she's blaming him, and then Chris stands up for Sonic to defend him. So what's going on? Like, Sonic at one point is not defending his friends, and now he needs his friends to defend him. I've seen Sonic stick ice cream down people's pants for less.
Sure.
I mean, to be fair, Sonic does kind of get involved here in a minute.
Kind of, yeah.
I guess. And she also goes on and on about how important it is that she properly grooms her chihuahua because there's a dog show with a Chaos Emerald as prize. And I think we've gone on enough about the Chaos Emerald. Also, I want to note the egg carrier is just sitting out here in the middle of a park.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was
and it says it's one of the few places Sonic didn't look for it.
Yeah, because we missed it. It said he ran across like the entire country multiple times looking for the egg carrier, and he just happened to miss it in Station Square.
Well, it's one thing to be hidden in plain sight. Maybe it's because Eggman for some reason decided to paint the whole thing gray today.
Yeah, blends in with nothing, with the concrete that it's not on.
I can't really remember how it works, and I can't remember the details of this on Sonic X so much. I feel like though in Sonic X, they sold the idea of like the military and people at large knowing that Eggman is bad news. But these comics really, it seems like he can just go anywhere he feels like, and it's not a big deal unless he's actually like attacking people.
Kinda.
Yeah, I don't really remember him being out and about very often. It's like, I guess I remember that episode where he went to a bookstore when like Mr. Stewart was spying on him.
Oh yeah.
And that didn't really cause
as far off as I remember
any big trouble, but most of the time people understood. I don't know. The Egg Moon episodes don't count because that was mind control.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So Eggman he was trying to get the limo because it has a special new part because he missed that engine that Chuck built before. So he wants to be able to use new tech.
I didn't even put that together. I didn't realize that was why he was stealing it.
And just to show how these comics are kind of spinning their wheels, Bokun asks, oh, are you going to steal the emerald from that pet competition? And he's like, no, that would be too predictable. I'm going to enter the pet show and win fair and square by cheating.
So honestly, this 100% seems like a thing Eggman would do.
No,
it
it
only falls
is.
apart when you see what he actually does. I hate it, but this in isolation, yeah, I could see Eggman taking the roundabout plan because it's more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, his plan is just to put Bokun in a fursuit.
Yeah, that's really stupid. Like,
That's
come
dumb as
on,
hell,
do
yeah.
something.
Make a
Actually,
special
like,
robot
sneaky.
pet that's like better
That's
at
what-
everything and that
exactly,
people
yeah.
don't know is an animal, and then it becomes the boss battle.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so easy. We could write these comics better ourselves. I mean, I shouldn't say that.
I mean,
But
that's definitely a very Adventures of Sonic approach to it, and honestly, just using Bokun for it is more the thing you would see in Sonic X, but that's also evidence that it's worse.
yeah.
But anyway, the kids' plan is not much better as they're entering Sonic as their pet,
Fucking
which
certainly a choice.
it's not that none of them would have that idea, but the thing is that
deny doing it.
well, yeah, Sonic agrees, and in the show, it only comes up once or twice, but every once in a while, they have a joke about the fact that the characters are indeed animals, and it seems to me like Sonic doesn't appreciate being infantilized in that respect sometimes.
Yeah.
This is
like-
just when I was saying this is Sonic finally stepping in a weird way, but it's a silly issue. It's got to be a weird way, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, because X Sonic is also kind of a little shit, so between that and like the cat food thing from episode 2 or whatever, I don't know. But I guess that's where we're at with these comics. This is at least the part where that panel of Sonic meeting a real hedgehog comes from when they go to the pet show.
That real hedgehog looks like I'm not sure what, but it definitely doesn't look like a hedgehog. I don't think the artist had seen a hedgehog either.
I think it's when you draw a realistic hedgehog, you need to color the face differently.
Yeah, the face should be a much lighter color, and their noses aren't black; they're pink.
Huh, I actually didn't know that. Well, because Sonic's nose is black.
Yeah, Sonic's noses. All the Sonic characters have black noses. But that looks more like, I think it kind of looks more like an echidna based on my memory, which is kind of funny.
Those have much longer snouts, but
They do. It's like what I'm getting at is this doesn't look like a fucking hedgehog.
That's fine. Also, they ask Cream like, "Hey, what about your pet Cheese?" And she's like, "No, Cheese isn't my pet. He's my friend, or they're my friend."
Does that imply that a pet can't be your friend?
Well, that's kind of the case in Sonic, because like Froggy is not Big's pet; he's his friend. Also, the relative self-awareness of Chow is super inconsistent across the franchise.
Fair.
I'm thinking about like the Black Market guy and how he even talks to you.
The Black Market Chow was always a bit of an enigma, honestly.
Well, Murder of Sonic has Chow that play in a band, so I don't know.
That's true.
And is that canon? Who knows? I don't fucking know. Anyway.
We don't need to get into that until we cover that game.
Anyway, so Milan spends more time mean girling it up, and then Eggman shows up to be ridiculous, and Milan instantly knows that Bokun isn't a cat, but the judges somehow do not, and them going through with Bokun and Sonic and Milan's dog is,
Ridiculous.
I mean, it's meant to be silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the unimportant characters are idiots. Basically, that's just the rule of this.
Well, what else
This
is
comic.
new?
I do like when they tell Sonic to speak and he randomly puts on a grad cap with a corncob pipe.
What topic?
Yeah. Although, to be clear, here's one thing. Eggman does refer to Bokun as a Mobian molecat.
That's true.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I'm sure that's the normal Archie Sonic comic influence, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is strange, because this is an Edkin issue, right? Yeah, this is an Edkin issue. He never wrote for mainline Archie.
Could have been an editor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, so yeah, it's very silly and superfluous. They do pet tricks, and Eggman's is to tell Bokun not to hurt people.
Which, to be fair, he does not hurt anyone.
Okay, yeah, so this is when I stopped liking what Eggman was doing. Even if Eggman dressed up Bokun, like, they could have had some other trick going on. But
He was
the
juggling
fact
lit
that there's-
bombs before.
I mean, okay, yeah. That's true. They could have just like juggled bombs and then been like, "I'll throw these at you unless you give me the Chaos Emerald or something like that." That would have worked at least better. But yeah, they seemingly have no plan and think they'll just win. I don't know, because they're a genius and they deserve it. Maybe.
Yeah, it feels like he's not trying. That's the problem with the whole plan. Is it feels like he's not actually trying to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, because this isn't Eggman's like real plan. His real plan is something involving the limousine.
Yeah.
And admittedly, we don't actually get to see. I think, right?
Well, it's like he said,
didn't
we're
even
going to
know
win
that
this
was
fair and
Eggman's
square
real
by
plan.
cheating, but like that means that you could have done anything. The Boken thing doesn't even matter.
Sure.
Which maybe that's why he's not trying. But then why even go to the effort? Anyway. Chris's trick that he tells Sonic to do is save the world, and he immediately ties up Eggman, which less saves anybody, more just leads to complete fucking chaos when Bokun pulls him unraveled and he goes flying into the cages, setting all the other animals loose.
Yeah.
Well, that's Bokun's fault, though.
That's true. Screw Bokun.
I mean, yes, but it's not like Sonic stopped him. And also,
pets escaping isn't going to put the world in jeopardy.
Well, so that's the other thing is that you say pets. There's a full-size like leopard in here and like snakes.
That's fine.
I don't know how this is a pet show.
Somehow.
Just you know.
You're not supposed to keep large wild animals.
Maybe you don't.
Yeah, I don't because it's dangerous.
Well,
If this happened in real life, multiple animals would absolutely die, and maybe even some people. Anyway, now it's pandemonium. Everybody's got to save everybody else from the animals.
Surprisingly, there are no pandas.
Yeah. Chris saves one of the judges from a snake. Cream saves another from these Mr. Burns style hounds. She stops them by screaming at them.
Yeah, when is that part of Cream's power set? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
they
was
just
kind
thought
of
her voice
sudden.
from Sonic X was that annoying. I don't even remember if she is. It's been a really long time since I've seen the dub, but
I didn't find it particularly annoying.
okay. Well, Sonic and Eggman argue over whether saving people counts for being a good pet, and the judges are like, it's your guys' fault that this shit even happened. So they give the reward to Cream. They say that Cream wins because she's saved those judges and also this kitten.
She's not insane, basically, so she automatically wins.
But you know what? This is the most relevance Cream has had in any issue of these comics, other than maybe the Ghost one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, Mean Girl gets shown up, Eggman leaves and makes a Pinky in the Brain reference?
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
this is just completely out of character. If Eggman lost, they'd just be like, "All right, Bo-kun, grab the emerald." Like, seriously.
Yeah. And also, I don't know. Eggman is not someone who is cool under pressure is the thing, and he's also someone who is a sore loser.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Now's when you bring out the giant robot.
basically. It's
Yeah, that
kinda
would be even better. I was just saying the bare minimum.
Yeah, if this wasn't like page 24 or something, that's what I would have expected.
'Twas not to be, I suppose. We also end on a 1980s Simpsons reference with frosty chocolate milkshakes. That's from the old Tracy Ullman shorts, and like maybe one or two
Wow.
season 1 episodes they make fun of it.
Come on, Bart. Catch the ball so we can all go out for some frosty chocolate milkshakes.
That's so weird.
Very odd reference.
Yeah. Maybe it has older origins, but that's at least what I get it from. I'm pretty sure that's it. But anyway, let's not waste any more time on this fucking issue. Sonic X number 37. Hey, it's the Wrecking Ball.
It is.
Doesn't show up in the does it show up in no, I don't think it does show up in the issue.
No, it does not.
I don't think it is in that one with the game, so it's not completely absent from the comics, but did you guys know what the plot of this issue was going to be by looking at the cover?
No.
I didn't know what the plot was. I mean, I just from looking at this, I'm like, okay, for some reason, Eggman will lose control of an invention or something
Sure,
like
yeah.
that. That was my vague guess.
Okay. Well, then that makes it a good cover, because when you do know it, it makes perfect sense, but when you don't,
Yes.
it doesn't spoil anything. Anyway, the story here is Switcheroo, Flynn and Fry. Eggman develops a special technology to switch his brain with the president to control the country. but Sonic accidentally gets in the way of the blast instead. So, yeah, we're fighting over President Mike here, and the thing that I said happens, which is that Eggman says, "Your mind is mine, Mr. President," and Sonic jumps in front of it. He smacks right into it, actually, destroys the cannon, and it explodes. So they're both knocked unconscious, and their respective sidekicks show up to drag them home immediately.
I love that Deco is like, "You win this time, but we'll be back." And then Boku is like, "Don't worry about it. Let's just get out of here."
Yeah, don't antagonize them. We're not good enough to beat them. I also like that Eggman is unconscious, but his Eggmobile is still active and flying, so they have a tow cable. But Amy and Tails take Sonic home as well, and then, Eggman wakes up only to find he's not Eggman. Sonic and Eggman have swapped bodies.
So, like, it's a simple idea, but, like, this is the idea that I was most intrigued of the sort of, like, oh, let's do this trope, but Sonic. This one, I think, has some of the most potential. I guess I won't quite say how it plays out, but I was interested at this point, at least.
Yeah, this is always an interesting con.
I will say that Sonic is fucking terrified. Like, he is mortified by this, which is surprising.
I don't think it's that surprising.
I mean, I'm not saying that he would like it, but he very much is not acting the way he's not cool under pressure, which Sonic normally is.
Well, I think because the idea is that he's terrified of the idea that what Eggman can do in his body.
I think he's upset looking at the mirror, realizing he's Eggman, but I don't know.
I mean, that too, but
they did this again in Sonic Boom, which is what I'm thinking about. But
that's right, yeah.
Here's one of the last meme panels of the series, which is Sonic with the weird face, and he certainly looks better. It's like, does he?
I do like you get these ridiculous expressions on both of them. Yeah, I assume this is Eggman trying to do like an evil grin with Sonic's face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is that I had seen this panel out of context for so long that I didn't know why he looked like that. So discovering that it was on purpose because it's actually Eggman in there is quite funny.
I do like that.
What I don't like is that he's not only, obviously he's abusing the trust between Sonic and his friends. That's expected. Yeah. The fact that he's also, like, using it to get close to Ella is, like, kind of creepy. I don't like that.
That's weird. I don't like that.
Luckily, it is mentioned here and then does not come up again.
Yes, it is just one panel.
Yes.
So Tails shows up just in time to barely stop Sonic from praising Eggman. With another great weird fucking face. I think what it is that it's not just an evil grin. I think it's Eggman trying to do Sonic's normal expressions but being bad at it.
Yeah, probably.
But Hector Drag, the guy from Sonic X, has kidnapped the president.
Oh no.
So they kind of treat it like Egg Sonic forgetting who they are is not a sign he's not himself, but I honestly wouldn't blame real Sonic for forgetting who Hector Drag is.
Yeah.
I mean, Sonic might say that jokingly, but especially if they're like causing trouble actively, Sonic probably would take it seriously and be like, "Oh yeah, them again. Okay, I'll stop them," or something like that.
Anyway, so we do get the thing that you would want to probably address in a Sonic brain switching story, which is Eggman running into things because he can't control that speed.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
Meanwhile, Sonic is struggling to save face and act like a proper Eggman to the henchbots. He's just so neurotic about this. I'm not sure how in character that is for Sonic, but I suppose I've never seen him in such a scenario, so whatever. It's not like the henchbots could or even would do much to him as long as he doesn't say it out loud. And he is concerned with Eggman messing up his real body by running into things all the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although he only specifies his face, so maybe it's just a vanity. Anyway, Hector Drag kidnapped the president because Sonic X wants him to sign a law declaring Sonic and friends to be illegal enemies of the state, which is just so ridiculous because you're breaking several laws to do that. Why would they're not going to honor that?
Well, okay. I mean, they're supposed to be like buffoons, first of all. So that's kind of the point. But second of all, I mean, Hector is just explaining it here. They'd probably bring the president to some secluded location and get some form of insurance or something, like actually make like the military force the animals away or something like that.
I guess, yeah. It's we hold the president hostage until the military gets rid of them. It's not really about the law exactly. Like I'm just
Right.
imagining he signs the law, they let him go, and he's like, "All right, get rid of that law."
That might totally happen because these are, like I said, buffoons.
Yeah, I do like that Sonic also almost hits them with the Eggmobile because he can't fly it very well. And Egg Sonic is here too, and they bicker about their mutual incompetence at each other's bodies. And somehow the only person who figures it out on their own is Boken.
Deco and Boko seem to have been just on the verge of realizing it.
Yeah, they seem to realize that at the same time.
Well, them too is weird. I guess they're more savvy depending on the issue, especially under Flynn. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't find it unreasonable they'd realize. I do find it unreasonable that Sonic's friends wouldn't realize, though.
Yeah, the fact that they don't realize,
Yeah,
they don't put two and two together.
It's the discrepancy, not that it's like you got to go all or nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, they find out that the mind swap happened, and Sonic finds out that there's a backup mind changer in his Eggmobile. Since when does Eggman keep backups? Come on.
That's a good question.
It doesn't matter since apparently Sonic sucks at aiming, which doesn't feel right, but maybe Eggman's body is throwing him off.
Yeah.
He is trying to hit Sonic with a laser after all, something Eggman himself is never very good at. It's a good thing all the shots you keep missing doesn't hit any other living thing, though. And of course, they end up switching back the exact same way as the initial switch, which is that Sonic gets in front of Egg Sonic, who isn't very good at braking, and so he runs directly into the beam and it explodes.
Yep.
So, Lauren, I'm thinking that maybe the thing you were saying about being initially interested was gone by this point and realized it was just missed potential.
Yeah, so, like, this should have been a two-part story, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you could have done more with this. Like, okay, I'll admit, I mean, they do, I like when, like, Eggman in Sonic's body is running into stuff. That's pretty amusing. I do sort of, I'm not sure how I think Sonic would react to Eggman's body. Like, I don't find it completely unreasonable, the way they react. I mean, it's hard to characterize the different versions of Sonic. But yeah, really, I would have liked if it wasn't such an easy fix, and basically they had to try to play their roles more seriously for longer. Yeah.
Part of it is that it's still trying to be an action story. You shouldn't have had any of this stuff with Hector Dragon the President. What it needed to be, or at least if you did, you kept it in the second issue. What you need for any brain switch story, I think at least, it makes sense for it to be a character story. You try to see how these characters try to navigate each other's lives. And in fairness, that is kind of what this is, but it ends so quickly that, I want more of Eggman having to force himself into Sonic's role. Maybe he has to go out and do other things as Sonic to keep the lie going, because he doesn't really do that. Sonic has to come up with an evil scheme and try to not hurt people in the midst of it. Maybe he discovers he's too good at being Eggman.
Oh God!
Imagine that. Yeah, like Sonic would naturally try to like contact their friends, but imagine Deco and Boko and Bokun caught on, or something, or they didn't know how to like activate the controls or something, but like they had to be super sneaky because Deco and Boko and Bokun, while they wouldn't like necessarily want to keep Sonic captured, they would be like, oh, wait, as long as Eggman isn't Eggman, we don't have to work, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can keep them trapped there, and as you said, it's obvious what Eggman would have to do in Sonic's body. So yeah, you could draw this out, make it way more interesting. You don't have to rush to the finish.
I'm thinking of a very cruel scene where Amy asks Egg Sonic out on a date and he like agrees because he doesn't know if Sonic would say yes or no to that, and then because he's trying to keep the lie up, he's treating her way better than Sonic ever would.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember the Sonic Boom episode very well when this happens, but it's definitely, I think, closer to that just because that show's a sitcom, basically. And there you get the advantage of Mike Pollock and Roger Craig Smith imitating each other's mannerisms.
Right.
So that's definitely an advantage of television. If you ever do a brain switch in your story and you're televised and you have voices and you switch the voices of the actors, you are a coward.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You are having actors imitate each other, or you are not doing that at all. Fuck you, Gravity Falls as well. Sorry. No.
That was
Anyway.
passionate. God damn.
No, I
You
like
could
Gravity
switch
Falls.
the voice actors and then have the voice actors still try to do the other's voice, I guess. That would be kind of weird, but you could do that. You could do it's like a double switch.
That's
I
also
guess.
true.
You get my point though.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not. I keep wasting time. Everything's back to normal. Sonic shakes President Mike's hand, and then we have this ending gag where everyone is wearing padded cushions to catch Sonic when he gets home because they don't know that the brain switch ever happened.
Yeah.
And then the henchbots are interrogating Eggman, not sure if he's still Sonic.
Okay, 100% actually. I think they know that Eggman switched back because they were literally there watching
They
the
just wanted an
action.
excuse to do this.
Exactly.
I mean, look at their outfits. That's pretty cool, actually. I like it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, no. Honestly, I like this scene.
Okay, so final. I was about to say final arc of the comics. This is the final two-parter, and it's kind of followed up in the next one after that. But this is Sonic X number 38, and he's going to die. They've got death weapons pointed at him.
That's fine. We can live without Sonic.
No, it's a good cover though.
Yeah.
But the story here is Big Trouble in Little Station Square. Did you fucking try with that one? Come on. Part 1. Flynn and
Little
Butler.
China reference is interesting.
In their final gambit against the Blue Blur, Sonic X develops a monster transformation serum designed to expose Sonic for the beast he is, but they seem to have trouble hitting him with the needle.
I saw that coming from a million miles away.
Oh god, yes.
These people are incompetent.
Yes, the organizer of Sonic X is very disappointed in his guys for screwing up all the time. The science guy and the car guy are the only ones who have even done anything, though, so we haven't really seen anything from the gun guy, the warden, or the gangster. Not to mention my boy Jerome Wise.
Well, Jerome Wise would never get any missions, obviously.
Oh god,
Yeah,
no.
probably not. But no, this is another plan from Science Guy. Magic Purple Juice.
Yep.
It's purple, so we know it's bad.
It's monster transformation ooze TMNT style. They're gonna shoot Sonic with it, but Sonic himself is busy fighting an egg squid.
I want to see more about the egg squid, to be honest. I don't give a crap about Sonic X.
Sonic says aren't squids supposed to have 8 arms, but no, squids have 10.
Yeah, they have 10.
Fool, you
Look,
idiot!
Sonic isn't a biologist or marine
Well, what this
biologist.
should have been is it should have been an octopus, so he would say that, and you could have called it the Eggtopus. Anyway,
That makes sense.
Anyway, the dudes have 6 darts worth of ooze, and they miss 4 of their shots before Sonic blows up the robot.
Why would you have the science guy shoot the gun?
Yeah, get like the military guy to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least the action panels look pretty cool here. Butler's art was kind of bland for a while, but he really flourished as mainline Archie took more of a cartoony direction.
Yeah.
So Sonic runs away, but Hector chases him down on a motorbike with Dr. whatever his face is. I don't remember his name. He takes another shot and misses, which alerts Sonic to their position. Well, actually, driving off the side of a bridge does that. But Sonic is no fool, and he's like, hey, let's race. And obviously, Fast Man can't pass that up. He really is an evil version of Sam Speed.
100%.
Yep.
Well, more evil. They're both cops. But they drive off, and Sonic is left alone. They bicker for a while, and they only have 1 shot left, but this one will definitely hit something, I promise. So Sonic decides, hey, I need somebody who can help me figure out what these guys are up to. So clearly I need to hire the guys who don't do any of that.
The guys who are bad at their jobs.
I forgot, before Sonic goes in there, Drag and the Doctor are arguing and like blame each other, and Drag is like, oh, I don't want revenge against Sonic. Wait, excuse me? Huh?
That's the whole reason you joined Sonic X.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
get that. What?
They're like, oh yeah, it's really my fault. But then they do not explain why they are motivated to be in this organization. Then
Yeah, why are you in the anti-Sonic organization, bro?
Yeah.
it's a bizarre moment. But yes, Sonic for some reason thinks yes, let's go to the Chaotix.
Look, in
Yes.
his mind, the Chaotix are actually like competent for some reason.
Well, I don't know. I would be in favor of this collaboration if not for the fact this is the only time in the series that someone actually asked the Chaotix to investigate something. And this is 5 pages out from the end of the issue, so you know it's going to go off the rails before that can even happen. Also, I want to note here, Vector's arms are green. They're supposed to be yellow-green, and this is a miscoloring that continues happening long into Flynn's tenure on Archie, because they just didn't check to see that Vector's arms changed color from his classic design.
I hope someone got fired.
Oh, so this isn't just a mistake here. This is just they
It is
completely
specifically that they're
misunderstood.
forgetting he's not classic Vector.
Ah, gotcha.
Wild.
And I think this is still Josh Ray coloring, who was on a lot of issues of mainline Archie. No, this is a Jason Jensen issue? What? This doesn't look like Jensen at all.
Isn't he like one of the really good colorists?
Yes, he sometimes still makes that mistake too, but the colors look so flat here. I'm used to him having gradients on everything.
Yeah, I thought that name sounded familiar. Remembering him having like really good color work.
Yeah, I mean it looks fine, but that's weird.
Yeah, it's just kind of boring.
Anyway, case in point, everything does go off the rails because the guy takes the shot. It is aimed directly at Sonic, but Charmy flies in front of it. It bounces off his helmet, which good on Flynn for remembering it's a helmet and not just his head.
Even I forgot that.
It bounces off his helmet, then the filing cabinet, then SBO intentionally deflects it with his wrist guard and yells, "Ninja deflect!"
I love that.
Like a fucking Power Ranger.
And then they carefully hide that it hits Vector.
Right in the ass, I think.
I mean, it's
Well,
his
tail.
tail, but...
That's the ass.
Sonic runs out to manhandle the Sonic X guys, but he doesn't get to for very long because giant kaiju Vector crashes through the building next to them.
Fucking wild.
This is something Sonic the Comic did. Ian, you rascal.
Yeah, but they do it differently here.
Sound
Worse,
well.
honestly.
I mean, it didn't stick around very long in Sonic the Comic anyway. Because that was just like a prelude to that like tree root monster, right?
Yeah.
That's not my complaint. My complaint is something we'll address in next issue.
All right. Well, either way, Sonic X number 39. Whatever you think, Big Monster Vector makes an awesome cover at least.
Oh, yeah.
So, Big Trouble in Little Station Square Part 2, Flynn and Butler. Sonic is in trouble with Vector having transformed into a 50-foot monster and giant Eggman robot on the horizon. And SBO's homeopathic solution really fixed the situation. So, now that there's a giant crocodile destroying the city instead of chaos, we finally see some evacuation procedures. Even if it's just Mr. Stewart's class. Also, hi Mr. Stewart, you have basically no presence in these comics.
Yeah,
Not that I'm complaining.
One other time?
Yeah, like once. I think the writers realized he just doesn't have very much value.
He doesn't.
Okay, I'm gonna come out with a crack theory here. So, Mr. Stewart, shows up for a second, and then they say like, "What are those idiots doing with Sonic?" And they have this bizarre expression on their face. And I'm like, what is this? At the end of the issue, you also see like they say, let's see, what did they say? Chris is like, "I'm so glad everyone was saved," and they're like, "You and me both," and they again have a weird expression on their face. At this point, I thought
Stewart with Sonic X?
Yeah, I thought Stewart was the organizer. They never reveal who the organizer is, so you can't tell me I'm wrong.
That true. He very well could be.
So, Flynn did later reveal who the organizer was. I'll tell you guys at the end of the episode. But that is an excellent theory. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that until just now, but like, that kind of makes sense.
I was going to use Stewart's lack of presence to highlight how they really just deleted Topaz from these comics.
She was in the earlier ones, but these later ones,
she was, and then she just disappears. Even Rouge has barely been around recently anyway, so very odd.
We barely had any. At some point, you gotta break down your character list, and I hate to say it, but Rouge and Topaz are a bit more disposable. Rouge
more than the Chaotix? I don't know.
Yeah, not more than the Chaotix.
No, the Chaotix should have also been disposable. I don't know why they keep showing up.
Yeah. Well, okay, these comics did get canceled. I don't think this was necessarily planned to be the very end of them.
Sure.
Anyway, so Vector is huge and he is struggling to move well. Thing is, he's not actually a monster. He has full control over his mind.
Sentient. Yeah, he's perfectly fine. I was really expecting him to do Monster Vector, and he's just kind of he's chill.
Yeah.
This is my problem. You can't just turn a character into a kaiju and then like, okay, never mind. They're just chill. They're just big. So then they have to come up with a dumb reason, which I won't spoil, why it actually causes trouble. That's the only reason I was saying Sonic the Comic was better. I wasn't saying it was good. I was just saying there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Science Guy tells Sonic he made the monster juice, and Espio says, "Oh, I have an ancient ninja remedy that can fix him."
So yeah, this kind of, I suppose this kind of tracks with Dr. Narisu's previous plan, because like it seems like they come up with these ideas, but then like they're kind of half-baked, because like they made these multicolored Sonics, and like, oh, just release them. Yeah, that'll cause trouble for Sonic, totally. And now they're like, make Sonic big, and that will cause trouble, I guess.
Well,
like,
the idea is to make Sonic seem like a monster, but making him big but not like act like a monster isn't gonna do that.
Yeah, so this is dumb but consistent, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
So, Sonic and Espio go off to get the ancient ninja remedy. This means, unfortunately, leaving Charmy in charge of the Sonic X guys, and they instantly escape.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
Wow, I miss when Charmy was like competent in Sonic the Comic.
Yeah. He was the only competent Chaotix in that. Meanwhile, Eggman gets home from the Squid Boss, but he's interested in exploiting the Vector situation. After all, everybody likes watching giant robots fight kaiju. Pacific Rim and shit.
Great movie.
And, yeah, they get that set up. Vector accidentally swallows a plane and then spits it out.
That seems improbable, but okay.
You know,
I'm just glad it didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
No one can die in these comics.
And yeah, Vector is still himself, so Sonic is like, hey, don't move. And he's like,
Vector's like,
okay.
all right.
So, and yeah, I forgot I wrote that note, and then my very next note is, wow, this is so fucking disappointing.
It really is.
That's what I'm saying.
It really is.
And I think that that's both because they make Vector not move, and because Eggman, well, he brings out a big robot, but it's not a giant mech. He just makes Big Bokun. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
It should have been like a giant combiner mech. Make it a fucking Megazord.
If Vector still has control over his mind, you still have a perfect opportunity for the big fight by forcing him to fight a cool robot. But it's not a cool robot, it's just fucking Bokun.
Okay, and I once again also... Sorry, what?
I just said I want to throw him into a blender.
Yeah, I don't really like Bokun. Bokun does have a place though, but their place is not this. Like this is not just like stupid because it's disappointing. Yeah, this is also out of character because Eggman then is like, oh, look everyone, look, I'm saving you from the monster. You should praise me or whatever and let me rule the world. Eggman would want to be in the spotlight. That's the whole point. So Eggman should be piloting the robot himself that's saving the day. This is indirect.
This is stupid.
It would be a great opportunity to reuse like E99, the Egg Exterminator from the show, or something else that's cool, you know?
Yeah. Something else.
I think, cool. and I think what it is also that like Bokun, you say he has a place. He hasn't been in his place for most of these comics because his place is to deliver exploding TVs. Yeah, these comics seem to just throw him. I think these comics seem to have an idea that Bokun is just innately funny, which he's not.
No, he's not.
Yeah, when I said they have their place, I meant don't throw them in the blender, unless you absolutely have to, because this comic will never understand what they're for, I guess.
Basically, like this version of Bokun should be thrown into a blender.
It's like with Adventures of Sonic. Scratch and Grounder are the scheming henchmen, right? And they're both silly and dumb, but that's the whole point. Deco and Boko are different from them, especially in these comics, because they don't actually care about their jobs all that much. They still try, but they're not doing the Wile E. Coyote schemes typically. And so, in Adventures of Sonic, Coconuts is the odd man out, where he's, sometimes a little bit more competent, sometimes operates a little more independently, and they clearly want Bokun to be satisfying that role. Problem is, Bokun is not good at anything, and he's not passionate about anything other than candy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So every time they write him as doing something important, it feels out of character.
Basically,
Exactly.
yeah.
Anyway, the ironic thing is that obviously Bokun is going to attack people rather than save them, so Vector has to fight him, making this the most that Vector has done in these comics, and almost anything under the X brand.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I guess that's something that you get out of this comic, I suppose.
Frankly, he hasn't done much in most Sonic things other than the games, and even then in Heroes, it's just the normal video game stuff. It's like, what does he even do in the Archie comics? He's fought some Legionnaires most of the time, I guess.
Yeah.
And fought Julie Sue just as much, but
Well, it's because he's sex or something.
I mean, like, the chaotic sometimes get on my nerves, but they're also somewhat endearing. I don't really mind if they're not in the spotlight ever. I wouldn't mind if they were in the spotlight and done well, I suppose. But
Sure.
often they only get in the spotlight for, like, shenanigans or something. Like this, I suppose. So it's a fitting role for Victor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, so they do fight at least, and yeah, Espio is a total crank. He gets over-the-counter aspirin and says his plan is derived from ancient Greek ninjas.
I mean,
I love this.
he is right. Aspirin, it does. The synthesis of aspirin does go back that far, but I'm releasing inflammation.
I also like Espio. You didn't know Greece existed a few months ago.
To be fair, he didn't know ninjas existed. He's just like that.
Well, we were assuming that based on references to Japan, but
Well, yeah.
But the ironic thing, of course, is that Sonic decides I might as well try it, especially as Gun's fighter jets are about to blow them up.
Right.
I do like Vector winning his thumb war against Bokun. The fact that Bokun would fight incredibly stupid battles like that makes more sense than any physical combat.
True.
They should have had him just challenge him to rock, paper, scissors or something.
Oh my gosh, imagine like Vector's like, oh, okay, so like I don't want to like hurt people, so I have to keep Bokun distracted with like,
games and shit.
active little games. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna do comedy, go full comedy. Have the entire joke be that there's not a big robot fight, and Eggman's like, why aren't you fighting?
Uh-huh.
And that would be an excuse to have Eggman not in the mech, is because he's not fighting.
Right.
That's true, yeah.
So anyway, Sonic, he races up, he bounces off them, and he throws the aspirin in Vector's mouth, which makes him burp smoke and then get small.
Oh yeah, at some point here, Vector breathes fire for some reason. I don't remember him doing that before.
Remember, that is a natural power Vector has. He did it in
Yes?
Sonic X, and we were like, what? And then I had to explain,
Oh.
yeah, he does that in Sonic Heroes, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've blocked most of X out of my memory.
And Heroes. Although you didn't even play as Chaotix anyway, so.
No, I didn't play the Chaos. Well, I mean, final boss.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah.
So, Vector is back to normal, and the gunfighter jets only have Bokun to shoot at, so they do that.
He probably deserves it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, fuck that little kid.
And then we have a little Sonic Says moments, where they're like, hey, the pills really worked. And then Charmy's like, ooh, let me try some. And then we gotta say, no, drugs are bad.
Yeah, don't
I
take
love
aspirin,
that. That's
kids.
great.
Don't
Yeah.
take aspirin, kids. It's a bad drug.
Well, he says only
Well-
take the recommended dose, actually.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
exactly.
fair. He does.
And if the problems don't go away, you should see a doctor. So that is at least good advice.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't overdose on drugs. I can tell you to our viewers, don't overdose on drugs. So anyway, Mr. Stewart has his moment Lauren was talking about where he like hates Sonic for some reason.
Yeah.
Bokun is incredibly depressed. I've never seen him look this.
He is depressed, yeah.
He's so sad. Anyway, we end on the organizer saying that Sonic X have failed him for the last time and he's finally ready to take action, and that doesn't happen because the next issue is the last one.
Yep, I would say what a shame. And
really
it is in
don't.
some ways, but like also it's justified.
So, issue number 40, the last one, and
Holy crap.
well, this cover, I don't know. It has Sonic blowing up a robot, and then Sonic fighting Chaos, and then Sonic running on the road. I guess it's just a highlight reel? I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
So, yeah, that sure is Sonic X.
Mm-hmm.
So, this story is called The End, Flynn and Hutchison. And during the rebuilding efforts from last issue, they get a visit from some unexpected acquaintances, or non-acquaintances, I don't know.
Yeah, kind of.
Sonic is relaxing with Cream and Vanilla, having a tea party. And instead of a recap, this issue just has Cream explain the plot to her teddy bear. Also, Vanilla is dressed in gray. That is not her color.
It gets fixed in the next page. I think, kind of, at least.
No, it doesn't.
No, I guess it doesn't, actually.
Anyway, this series, it's been a light, easy read. It's not had any major upheavals to the status quo, so I'm sure that the finale will be an easygoing hangout comic with no major what the fuck.
Anyway, here's Shadow and Metal Sonic from the main series.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna tell you anything about what mainline Archie was doing around this time, but this is some fucking bullshit.
All right, cool. Good to know.
So, Shadow and Metal Sonic randomly chaos controlling in?
It's so okay. I will say I knew this happened. I didn't know it was literally in the finale. I've been waiting for it this entire time.
We got canceled. Find the most blatant and obvious way of telling them to read the main book as possible.
Yeah, please go read our regular comics.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what this is. This is just please go read our regular comics.
Lauren, what do you make of this? What was your reaction? Did you know this was coming?
Well, you kind of spoiled that something like this would happen. I didn't know it was going to be Shadow Metal Sonic in the middle of a tea party, but you spoiled that there'd be a crossover between mainline Archie and this.
I think I did that by accident, but
I didn't know if it was. So I knew it because Kayla told me.
Okay.
I didn't know it was in the middle of a tea party though, which was really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought, oh, okay, they're doing something weird. Let's see, this should be interesting. It isn't, unfortunately.
It's Sonic X, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metal Sonic almost instantly flies off to find Dr. Eggman, and Shadow has to explain a bunch of stuff to Sonic about being from another world, another zone, in fact.
And Sonic just takes it all at face value. He's like, all right, cool.
Well, he says, we're all from another universe, too.
That's true, actually. Sonic actually probably wouldn't be that weirded out. Or this Sonic.
You're right. You're right. They actually do say that, and that's probably the main reason. But also, I feel like it has something to do with the fact that these comics are just all over the place, insane.
Fair.
Like, weird things happen all the time.
Fair.
Yes, indeed. Well, and you will note that they don't say anything about anything that's actually from Archie here. They say that Shadow is here,
right,
and that Metal Sonic is here, and maybe they mention that Metal Sonic has an interdimensional engine.
They do.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
But they don't say anything about what's going on in the main book around this time, which is good. It means you guys don't get spoiled. You'll be waiting the whole time as we read mainline Archie, trying to think, when is it going to happen?
I'm assuming it's going to be like random also.
It does make it a bit confusing though, because I'm like, what is Shadow coming from here? Because Shadow is like, I should look for Metal Sonic. And then Sonic is like, don't worry about it. Metal Sonic will come to us. That's how it works in these comics. And Shadow's just satisfied with that. And like, if the situation is low stakes, that makes sense. But I feel like whatever Shadow is coming from can't be low stakes. In which case, accepting that response is just bizarre.
Well, so
kind of.
At the very least, both Shadow and Metal Sonic know that Metal Sonic can't actually leave without Chaos Control, because they can only teleport via a combination of Shadow's Chaos Control and Metal Sonic's engine.
I didn't catch that at all. I had no idea.
Yeah, well, they don't say it, but
yeah, I assume they're
at the very least, if you're going to argue it's low stakes, then it can be because of that.
Okay, that I suppose makes sense then.
Shadow does mention that the Chaotix where he comes from aren't exactly detectives, which leads me to ask, well, what are they? And it's like, they're guys that fight stuff sometimes.
Dudes. Yeah.
They're mostly you could probably call them a freedom fighter group, but they're not fighting against Eggman. They're the I guess they're the anti-Dark Legion group. I do love this panel. This is the final meme panel
Yep.
with, is that Shadow with you? Yeah. Isn't he
Yeah.
dead? Long story. He's better now.
Cool.
Same deal with Shadow's deadpan reaction to the news that Vector was turned into a kaiju. So yeah, Sonic takes him to meet the still miscolored kids, and Mr. Stewart is freaked out by this, but Chris immediately runs up and hugs Shadow. He's still sad about his SA2 death.
I cannot believe how well Shadow takes this. Shadow
was taking this so well.
Shadow must have significantly changed in Archie since what I last saw of them.
Mhm.
I feel like they would not be this swish with this situation. This is shocking, honestly. Like, what?
So when I read this, I was trying to remind myself, okay, this is not Sonic X Shadow, because Sonic X Shadow is the one who punches Chris in the stomach and tries to murder Cosmo, even if he thinks it's for the greater good. This Shadow is Archie Shadow, and the thing is, Archie Shadow, yes, but you gotta remember the last time we saw him in the main book, now this is obviously later, last time we saw mainline Shadow, he parted on relatively good terms with Sonic because Sonic helped save Hope.
Yeah.
And Shadow has never been mean to children in Archie, at least.
Fair. He hasn't had many interactions.
Actually, I guess the last time we saw Shadow in the mainline book, he was beating up Bean, but
Well, we don't care about Bean.
I don't think Bean is a child anyway. I have no idea, actually.
I don't think he is.
I don't expect Shadow to, like, punch Chris, being like, don't touch me. I expect Shadow, like, I was surprised, by how Shadow, like, is able to talk to Chris in a way that makes Chris feel fine. Like, I would expect Shadow, at the very least, to awkwardly, like, you know, fumble their way through.
Yeah, he humors
and-
Chris is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be like, I would expect Shadow to be like, I'm not the same Shadow, just come right out with it, to be honest.
That is true.
The second thing is that they don't get mad at Sonic. Like, what? This is a jerk move from Sonic, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, no. Sonic has a couple other jerk moves in this story also.
Yeah, because it's like, why would you bring Shadow here who's not the Shadow? And he says, I'm not from your world. And he says, doesn't matter. It does matter!
Yeah, like, at the very least, explain the context.
Yeah.
It also creates a continuity flub because Shadow's like, I'm sorry, but I have to keep going. I have to go. And he's like, you'll be back one day, right? And he says, yes, one day. Well, that makes a huge problem with the Metarex arc, even though it's clearly trying to foreshadow that, because when he comes back, nobody's expecting it.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point, actually.
And the thing is, I wanted to be like, hey, that's what proves that it doesn't work with continuity. But I forgot something else, which is that Card Passer, the gun guy from Sonic X, he is the guy in the show who tries to kill Eggman in that one episode. I forgot that the reason he tries to kill Eggman is because he's not going to get another chance, because that's from the episodes where they build the gate back home.
Right.
Which means this has to all be happening after that episode, which can't work because they do go home.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
So, everything since Sonic X was introduced literally can't happen. Well, Sonic stopping him is the whole reason he joined Sonic X.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
So shit. This continuity doesn't make any sense.
Not past that issue, at least. So.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess we were looking for a reason.
It was inevitable. They were like, pushing their luck way too often.
Oh god, yes. That was inevitable for the continuity to break down.
Yeah. So shame, but anyway.
Shame, but unsurprising.
It's weird because they very much touch on something here as if they have it all together.
Exactly. It's so weird. And this is Ian Flynn writing these, so you'd think that he would realize.
I have a feeling Flynn might have been a little checked out.
He's definitely putting most of his efforts on the main book at this point, I'll tell you that.
I would assume.
And Lauren, that was the other thing I was going to mention, is that Shadow has gone through a change, so you're not wrong.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Anywho, Metal Sonic shows up at the egg base, and he immediately scares all the other robots down the hallway because he's so unfitting to Sonic X.
Oh god, yeah. It's kind of neat seeing the henchbots interact with Metal.
Well, it's so clear that he's too evil for this continuity.
Oh god, he's so ominous compared to the henchbot.
Yeah. But he does say that he's from the Prime Zone, so yeah.
I find it strange Okay, so if they're from the Prime Zone, then this is actually Archie Eggman. I guess the context probably will explain. Uh, but I find it strange that okay, you did also explain that Metal Sonic can't leave without Shadow. I didn't know that either. I thought this was a strange course of action to search out this dimension's Eggman and just take instructions from them. But
It's strange, but I get it.
I guess given no other I mean, they should look for Shadow. I would be what I would think. It's
I would assume
bizarre
go to
that
Eggman first and see if Eggman can help before immediately going for Shadow.
I guess I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not keeping consistent with themselves. I mean, the back of Metal Sonic should be white because that's what the engine he has looks like, but
Oh,
it's a little weird. So Sonic takes Shadow to meet Sam for some reason. I guess he's just taking him on a tour of the Sonic X world because this is the last time we're gonna see him.
yeah.
Yep, that's it.
And we get to see that Sonic X is spying on them, and they completely abandon their plan from last time because, as we see in the comic, was kind of aborted at this point.
Yeah.
But and it's weird that Card Passer is the one who says scrap the plan. It was the organizer who was deciding things. Whatever.
No question.
But Eggman, you know, he's excited because he's gonna use Metal Sonic for stuff, and he's gonna be able to get rid of X Sonic. And this might work given that this metal is from a much scarier timeline.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I do like that they draw attention to that, where you know, Shadow and Sonic are talking about that. How Shadow's like, you know, this place is kind of nice. You know, the Sonic X-verse isn't all that scary.
Yeah, no, it's pretty chill compared to the hell that he's from.
Yeah. Sonic even invites him to stay, and Shadow's like, you know, I kind of wish I could, but
Yeah, it's like, I wish I could, but that's not really an option.
Yeah. He says I was created to protect my own world, so he definitely knows some things that he doesn't at this point in Archie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he decides he has to get home. And conveniently, Eggman and Metal Sonic show up. So they just do the thing again. Shadow grabs on his Metal Sonic, he says Chaos Control, and then they leave.
That is so lame. Like,
So anticlimactic.
don't just bring Metal Sonic.
Doesn't
into
fight
the
anybody.
Issue. And yeah, not having Metal Sonic fight. What the
Metal
heck?
does fuck all.
Yeah. So
Damn.
Sonic says
Talk about
sayonara,
it.
maybe we'll meet again. You won't. You'll meet a different Shadow.
You meet your Shadow.
Somehow. Maybe everything happens in a scene transition between scenes of that Sonic X episode, and they're all just secretly having the gate stuff going on off screen. And yeah, Eggman does rush back to base to check that his version of Shadow is still in the pod, so it's so weird.
Yeah, this is why I thought they were actually on top of the continuity. I think they largely did try to be. I'm sure that was just a simple mistake.
Maybe in the Sonic X introduction part, when Card Passive says that he tried to kill Eggman, that's a different time he tried to kill Eggman that we didn't see because it was off screen. And the editor just messed up saying that it was from that episode.
You know, if these comics went on and someone realized it, they definitely would have said something like that.
They would have figured out.
Well, because that was the thing, is that they did do a good job using retcons to cover up inconsistencies at one point.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time that an editor has incorrectly identified a line anyway.
Yeah.
True.
I will say though, this is like disappointing. Although I guess not for this version of Eggman because they're kind of an idiot. Like Metal Sonic is from a parallel universe. It's obvious that Shadow's from a parallel universe as well. They shouldn't be freaking out. Like how did they get out? It's obviously not the same Shadow.
So Sonic runs back home, but Tails, Amy, Knuckles, and Rouge all follow him, hearing that Eggman and Shadow were happening. It's really just that I think they wanted to draw a group shot of them.
Yeah.
Rouge gets really rightfully annoyed that Sonic didn't take Shadow to come see her.
Yeah, you took him on a tour to meet fucking Sam Speed and not
Who gives
Rouge,
a
his
fuck about
actual person that he
Sam?
knew.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sonic goes home, he tells Chris that Shadow left, and yeah, Rouge is sad that she didn't see him. And hi, Topaz! She shows up to comfort her after, like, I checked, it was 22 issues since her last appearance. More than half the series.
Gosh. Yeah, because
was
they actually showed up a fair amount in the beginning. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
They
like the
just
first half,
disappeared.
we had a decent amount of Topaz. What was the last story she was in?
I think it was the one with the fake Rouged robot.
Oh, that makes
That's
sense.
logical.
So then everybody poses for a group shot. And that's the
Cool.
farewell to this comic series.
We're done.
What a bizarre farewell.
I know,
It's
this is
such a
the
weird
weirdest finale
farewell.
of any Sonic comic. Because it's like, mainline Archie gets canceled, but it happens right after the Sonic Unleashed adaptation. So it's like they do a big finale to that, and they start their next arc, but it's probably that they were, holding out as long as they can to finish that without it happening right in the middle of it.
Right.
So that the finale to that, having a couple extra issues extraneous is like understandable. And then like, Sonic the Comic, they definitely got canceled, but they finagled their way into a finale. Adventures of Sonic doesn't really need a proper finale. It ends with the
Sure.
Christmas episode. It's fine. Sonic becomes Santa.
That's fine enough for that what that is.
Yeah, Sad AM is a similar story. It got canceled, but their big Robotnik defeat is at least functional as a finale.
Yeah.
Sonic X proper has its own finale, and maybe that's why is that this is not considered a finale to Sonic X because they're considering the TV show as the real ending.
Sure, but like, come on, I don't know. End off with them going home at least.
Yeah, like at least sync it up with the show. But this is literally a we got canceled, read our other comics thing. You can literally see Sonic 197 and that really Sonic 197? Wow.
God damn.
Sonic Universe #1 and all that shit. Sorry, I just thought that the events of Sonic 197 have happened way earlier than they do. So yeah. Okay. So the Sonic X comics. They are a lot like the show, but they're a little bit more like, our common problem with so many Sonic adaptations is that they have more entries than they know what to do with. And that's definitely the case here. Because these comics were far from devoid of fun. There were plenty of good moments and funny moments and issues. But it's like, there was so many that it's clearly like, I don't know, just do whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's an improvement over the show, like because you couldn't possibly get worse than the show. But it went too long, I guess. But like I don't know. It's like they weren't really trying to do anything original. It's like I'm not really sure. It's a bizarre choice from the get-go to make comics that fill in gaps between Sonic X. I feel like you were kind of doomed from the start. I mean, they at least had a few arcs here and there, but they didn't seem to be so concerned with making it anything other than just episodic stuff, basically. Some of the episodic stuff was sometimes fun.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It had a lack of direction.
Definitely. I mean, you could have taken the opportunity to like explore some of the X stuff more, which they do sort of sometimes, I suppose.
Occasionally.
If I were doing a Sonic X comic, I would, at some point do stuff in the space arc,
That's what I was expecting at some point for them to jump forward to the Meta-X arc.
What, and I'm thinking like, how many issues, obviously it doesn't have filler because there's no source material.
It still feels like filler.
But there are so many issues that feel like a waste of time. And if we sucked out all of those, how many would you be able to set in the space arc if you wanted to?
Yeah.
Another thing is it's weird. I can't read the tone of these comics exactly because it seems to be trying to mimic the tone of like the Sonic X show, but it doesn't seem to. It definitely doesn't succeed all the time with that. I can't tell how seriously I'm supposed to take certain parts of this. That was a very weird thing about
Sonic X, the show. It usually depended on the episode because on the one hand you'd have the baseball episode where things are obviously just goofy, but then you'd wait a week and you would get to, like the the Exterminator, E99 or whatever, where it's like, oh, that's seriously roughing up Sonic, and oh, Chris burns his hands taking the chasms, all that, yada yada yada. But these are trying to be silly most of the time, and whenever they try to take themselves seriously, I don't know if it's a build-up for a joke or not.
I guess maybe the serious moments are more outliers than what it was trying to actually do. It's just weird because you have so many plots. They're just like, what if Sonic but this thing? But then you have like the ghost arc, which was actually really good. That was one of my
Yeah.
favorite arcs in these comics, where people are getting possessed en masse. You've got like shoot, I lost my train of thought. There are
Thinking of the
definitely
Chaos
other.
story?
Yeah, the Chaos story, that was another serious one for sure. Yeah, so it was just maybe weird when the serious moments came up, I suppose.
So infrequent.
Because they didn't
and
stick to it
yeah.
ever.
Yeah, exactly. The show would stick to it generally. So yeah, I don't know. As it's like as a companion piece to the show, it's just so strange.
Oh yeah, it doesn't work at all for that.
Well, that's what it is that it should have taken more from the show. That's part of the reason that we like the Ghost arc and the Sonic versus Chaos thing, is because they're following up
Right.
on stuff from the show. A lot of the time, they're inventing wholly new stuff. And, like, okay, Sonic X as an idea of pathetic, spurned men that wanted to, beat Sonic, that's at least an idea. They don't do a lot with it. Part of that is that it got canceled beforehand, but they're still completely incompetent anyway.
But
But it's
they
like...
have some bits here and there. This, for a lot of Sonic media, I'm like, nah, just do the whole thing. Gotta experience the whole thing. But seriously, 100% this, I'm just like, nah, I would just pick out the good arcs, and like, there's no reason to
Yeah,
look at
you're
a
allowed to
majority of these
skim a lot
comics.
of issues of this.
Definitely.
And do skim, because even the worst issues, I would say, still have good jokes sometimes.
I guess, yeah.
There are some decent character moments, there's some really bad character moments. And if nothing else, of all the Sonic comics we've covered, as soon as Tim Smith III stops drawing for it, this has some of the most consistently decent artwork.
Yeah, definitely.
Now,
Yeah, I can't, even bad art doesn't look bad to me, but yeah, this is definitely, I can tell it's more consistent.
yeah. Now, Flynn era Archie and then IDW will knock it out of the park, so it's fine.
Of
but,
course, yeah.
It's like Sonic the Comic had some definitely bad-looking issues and artists, and obviously Archie Sonic did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Sonic X comics. It was too long, and if it was less long, it would have been better, but that's it.
I mean, too long, I suppose. The thing is, if it was shorter, I don't know if it wouldn't have necessarily just been the good stuff. Like, if it was shorter, it would probably still have had the same ratio of filler, I imagine, actually.
That's probably true. It didn't make the best use of the number of issues it had.
Yeah. Okay, Devin, who's the organizer?
Okay, so Flynn said afterward that the organizer was Westwood.
That checks out. He did completely disappear from the plot. I thought that was just because the writers forgot about him.
Yeah, so I literally just had that spoiled for me about 10 minutes ago on the wiki.
Okay, that actually completely checks out.
No, that totally checks out.
I think Mr. Stewart is a great idea, though.
I think Mr. Stewart's a funnier idea, but
the thing is, you'd have to explain why they're doing that.
Yeah, since he works for Gunn anyway.
Yeah. That was just a crack theory. Don't think about it too much. Yeah, Westwood makes way more sense.
Now that I was thinking about it, you kind of should have made Mr. Stewart and Westwood almost the same character. Like, I guess that wouldn't work in continuity with the show, but it's not like he had anything to do in these comics. And he was, like, always kind of weird in the show anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. I'm not going to debate that. What's important is that we are done with these comic books. And that means that next time on Deep Dive Zone, we're going to do an episode where we talk about Sonic merchandise a little bit. I don't really know how it's going to go, but there's some funny merch, and I'm going to find some funny bootlegs and off-brands.
Hell yeah.
It'll be a good time.
It'll be a great old time.
You sound dejected, Bruce. Did something happen to you?
No, I'm glad to be done with these comics.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's good to be done. I kind of forgot what I was going to say. Another thing is, honestly, I don't actually feel burned out from this, not nearly as much as some other things. Like, 40 issues isn't actually
compared to
that
the show.
long.
No, it's not. No, 40 issues wasn't that bad. It's just like,
It's 8 episodes, and, well, when we get back to mainline Archie, that's going to be a 30-episode block, so we're going to have to be pacing ourselves.
That's fine. I actually enjoy mainline Archie more.
Well, okay, to be clear, it's the Flynn era, and as I've been taking notes on it, fucking good. It is really stellar a lot of the time. I've had very little complaints.
Nice.
But with all that said, that is where we're going to cut it off for tonight. Thank you to my lovely co-host for being here. Thank you to our fans for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, suggestions, or feedback, you can reach us in the links in the link tree in the description. I hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week for another exciting episode. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and take care.